pares de oros se llaman. Artistas se llama pares de oros. Búscalos en el YouTube, pares de oro. Felicidades a los pares de oros.
Ahorita ver a sus mujeres, a sus señoras, mandándole su mensaje y todo. Tienen el apoyo. No. Tener el apoyo de sus esposas es bien importante porque luego llega uno a una cierta edad que ya tienes tu pareja y si no te apoya en tu sueño, realmente es uno muy infeliz.
Sí, así es. Las señoras Andrés dichosas agarran 100,000 bolas y no se regresan hasta que se los gastan.
Pero sí les dio gusto.
No, claro que sí, yo sé que sí. En una gran canción, la neta, me parece que deben andar cerca ustedes.
Sí, están allá los tres.
Vamos allá para Yaquipeta, los chavalones.
En este momento, quiero pedirle a todos los demás de los participantes que pasen por favor al centro del escenario. Y así despedimos una final espectacular. Gracias, Cristi. Gracias, Pepe. Gracias, Don Cheto. Gracias, Pelillos. Y a ustedes en casa. Nos vemos mañana.
Sacramento, una ciudad única y con la mayor diversidad cultural. Estrella TV Sacramento, canal, tu entretenimiento.
Being in Texas, 21 lives lost after a mass shooting at an elementary school. We're on the ground in Uvalde with the aftermath unfolding.
Okay, where's the sheriff? Where's the police? Where's some kind of protection for the kids that go here?
And parents in our area on edge, how they're reacting to the gun violence in Texas, as well as a gun found on campus at a Sacramento school.
Plus, action from lawmakers.
We're going to control the controllables.
What's being done here in California to control gun violence?
And questions surrounding the monkeypox virus after a suspected case is found in Sacramento County. We're sifting through the rumors and getting the facts.
Where the news comes first. This is KCLA 3 News at 5.
Tragedy in Texas as the community of Uvalde mourns the loss of at least 19 children and 2 teachers shot and killed at an elementary school yesterday. And here are some of the images we're starting to get of those young, innocent victims, many of them just in the 4th grade. And right now, vigils are being held in different parts of the state of Texas. This is a live look out of San Antonio. Also, you're getting a shot here out of the state capital of Austin. Well, now that anxiety is being felt everywhere, including here at home.
We have live team coverage for you from Northern California. Parents reacting, but first, we want to start with KCRA 3's Lizanne Mitri. She's live now at a vigil in Uvalde, Texas, with more. Okay?
That's right, we're here at the Uvalde County Fairplex, waiting any moment for that prayer vigil to begin. They've got a stage set up here, just making a quick announcement before they begin yet. You can hear the applause, a lot of people in the community who have shown up. You can see the school district police chief is here, the school district superintendent is here. This has been a very difficult and emotional day for people here in Uvalde, as you can imagine. Originally, this week was supposed to be a week of celebration. High school seniors were set to graduate on Friday. We talked to one of those seniors who said he woke up this morning and just felt like he thought it wasn't real. It didn't feel real. That was something we kept hearing from a lot of people, still stunned that this has happened. And now we're hearing it's about to begin, so we'll let you listen in for a little bit here.
Going to the school and opening fire on a 4th grade class.
He was dropped out of school. He had no criminal history that we've been able to find.
As the community grapples with this horrific tragedy, the conversation in Washington turns to curbing gun violence.
Our country is sickened
outraged by the senseless evil that struck Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas.
One nation under guns. It doesn't have to be that way. Our parents don't need to drop their kids off at school and wonder if their kid will be next.
Many now wondering whether these words from politicians will be turned into action. I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
Then Biden is expected to travel to Texas soon to meet with the victims.
Today, Governor Newsom joined other California lawmakers to talk about expediting gun legislation as well as creating an Office of Community Violence Prevention.
I'm moving well over a dozen bills forward, getting them to my desk where I will enthusiastically be signing bills by the end of next month. It's on ghost guns, on issues related to the proliferation of assault weapons, ghost guns, as well as others, where we need to increase our enforcement.
The governor went on to say that he hoped the actions of California lawmakers could help ease people's anxiety around gun violence.
California Congressman John Garamendi authored the first assault weapons ban to become law in the country, and today he commented on the Texas shooting, calling on voters to take action.
If you vote for someone who is unwilling to pass even a minimal gun safety law, then you are allowing this to continue. This is a voting issue, and voters ought to be aware of where their candidates stand on gun safety.
Tonight, families are having hard conversations with their kids about things like safety, school, and guns.
KCRA 3's Brittany Hope is live at Edward Kemble Elementary. And Brittany, you've been there all day talking with parents about Texas and about what was discovered at the school right behind you.
Yeah, that's right, Andre. And I mean, many parents are grappling with that question of could it have been my child? Just yesterday, a loaded gun found inside the desk of a second grader here. So combining that with Texas, a lot of parents tonight are telling me they just don't know how to protect their kids.
You try to tell somebody, oh, hey, did you hear about that shooting that took place? And you're like, oh, which shooting? Instead of just, oh, that one, that. Right there, it's just like, come on, y'all. Our kids out here dying, and you can't even imagine that feeling of dropping your kid off, and this might be the last time you see them.
Thoughts no parent should have to have.
Due to him looking at me in my eye and telling me I don't feel safe, that did not sit well with me, and I couldn't go on without, throughout the rest of my day, without, being stable here, so that he'll know that, daddy's here and he'll be okay.
We met Noel sitting inside his car in the heat all day, feet from the front doors of Edward Kemble Elementary. He didn't want to show his face on camera, but he wanted viewers to know what's going through his head right now with the situation on campus here yesterday and now the shooting in Texas. Do you feel like your child is safe at school?
Honestly, no. No, and I'm contemplating right now at the moment if I should go in and take him out, but currently I'm just waiting right here until about 3 o'clock when he gets out of school, just to be on the safe side.
A gun was found inside a second grader's desk yesterday at this school. His son is in second grade and could have been feet away from it. Now, reflecting on the Texas massacre, we asked Noel what he wants to see change.
We need to start banning assault rifles. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Banning assault rifles, doing thorough background checks. Run your social media profiles, every single profile that you might have online.
Until that happens, he'll stay here, taking watch to make sure he sees his son and can embrace him after the school bell rings.
At the end of the day, it's about that next generation that's coming up, and hopefully they'll be able to live in a better world than we're living in right now.
Yeah, that's the hope. And the answer to that question for so many families was different today. What would need to change for them to feel comfortable, to feel safe bringing their kids here to school? And many of them said different things. But one thing we noticed through these conversations today was that many parents at this point, they just feel uncertain and they feel really, really scared. We're live in Sacramento. Brittany Hope, KCRA 3 News.
Brittany, and you can certainly understand where they're coming from today. Thank you so much. We're going to continue the conversation with the Facebook Live right now. You can send us any questions you want experts to answer about talking to your children about school shootings. You can grab your smartphone, use the camera app, and scan this QR code right there on your screen. That will take you right to a form where you can submit your questions. Then join us at 5:30 on Facebook Live.
All right, we have some other news to get to right now, and there's a traffic alert for folks in Sacramento with a big rig crash blocking some roads. So here's the video. This is from Live Copter 3, zooming in here. Look at this crash just off I-80's ramp to the northbound I-5. There, the truck went off the freeway clearly. It went down the embankment on the road. The driver was taken to the hospital, and the crash also ruptured.
Estrella TV. ¿Quiere ver esto por KCR3? Estrella TV. Ya no vamos a estar en vivo. Qué triste es esta historia. Estrella TV. Quiero ver Estrella TV. No me deja. Mucho talento. Tirotearon en una escuela en Texas. El canal Estrella TV no me deja cambiar. Qué triste es esto. Lo están repitiendo. Escuchen esto. ¿Van a decir algo sobre el virus?
As the first possible case of monkeypox was detected in Sacramento County, many still don't know much about the disease. KCRA3's
Monkeypox.
de la Cruz spoke to a doctor and to the Sacramento LGBT
Monkeypox.
Center as
Monkeypox.
concerns grow.
Oh. Monkeypox.
Yeah, there, well, as you mentioned, as this first possible case
El caso.
of monkeypox was
Monkey.
many are still wondering what this is and who is affected. So let me give you a few details. Now, the virus, the transmission of this virus can be when one person comes into contact with an animal, another person, bedding, or clothing that has been contaminated with a virus. Now, a lot of these clusters between men who are having sex with other men, health officials are stressing that this is not a sexually transmitted disease, and the World Health Organization is even cautioning against labeling a particular community in a negative way.
Sacramento, California. Ahí está. Monkeypox. Si you know what monkeypox, en español me dicen.
People who have normal occupations and don't have prolonged skin-to-skin contact with people are not at risk of getting infected.
So I think stigma does a disservice to kind of protecting ourselves and protecting the ones that we love. But then also stigma can lead to a lot of violence.
And symptoms from monkeypox include a swollen lymph nodes, headache, fever, muscle aches, fatigue. Those are just some of the symptoms that
Los síntomas que pueden tener una persona de este mono, monkeypox, o como lo llaman en su país. Mira, estos son los síntomas que pueden tener en vivo de Sacramento, California. A las 6. Maricela de la Cruz. She's a Latino. She's Hispanic and Latino. Maricela de la Cruz. Muchas gracias, Maricela de la Azul.
And now San Jose police have the man in custody while they say reporters from his potential victims, or reports I should say from his victims, help save their lives.
And in the weather, it is hot right now. Many valley locations at or above 100. But look what's happening. A delta breeze is trying to stir. I'll show you the difference that's going to make in just a couple of minutes.
Presentamos Roto Racer, la sierra de mano que funciona a más de 3,000 revoluciones por minuto. Es versátil.
Compra esta al trabajo.
Madera, tripline, pisos plastificados, drywall, azulejo,
cerámica, mampostería, mármol y piedra, tableros y plástico, incluso corta metal, acero y alfombras Roto Racer. Una sierra de vaivén, circular, de banda, de corte húmedo y de arco. Roto Racer viene con 3 sierras de cambio rápido, una sierra de carbonato de tungsteno para madera, una sierra de acero para metal y una sierra de diamante para azulejo y cerámica.
El trabajo en construcción y Roto Racer va a facilitar mucho el trabajo, sean carpinteros, sean personas que ponen el yeso. En sí es una herramienta que se puede usar en general para todos los tipos de construcción.
Roto Racer está valorada por cientos de dólares hoy y por tiempo limitado. Puedes probarla gratis y sin compromiso por 30 días. Solo te cobraremos $14.95 por gastos de procesamiento y envío. Así que ve al internet o llama ahora para ordenar y te daremos la Roto Racer con 3 sierras. El sistema de extracción de polvo. Solo conecta la manguera a cualquier aspiradora y así cortarás de forma limpia. La caja profesional para Roto Racer y el estuche con 310 piezas para taladrar. Vale $50. Será tuyo gratis. Todo tiene un valor de $300. Pero hoy puedes probarlo gratis. Solo paga $14.95 por envío y procesamiento. Y por tiempo limitado, ordene ahora y automáticamente actualizaremos su orden al nuevo y mejorado modelo Roto Racer 2020 gratis. Disfruta Roto Racer por 30 días. Y si no es la sierra más rápida, fácil de usar y la herramienta más accesible que hayas utilizado, simplemente devuélvela y no pagarás un centavo más. Y puedes quedarte con el estuche con 310 piezas para taladrar. Llama ahora mismo para aprovechar esta increíble oferta o visita nuestra página de internet www.rotoracergratis.com.
Hay mucha información sobre el COVID-19. Por eso es importante compartir los hechos, no el virus. Las vacunas contra el COVID-19 no nos infectan. Al contrario, estas fortalecen nuestra inmunidad. Vacunarte y ponerte la dosis de refuerzo son las formas más seguras de protegerte contra enfermedad severa y el COVID prolongado. Comparte los hechos, no el virus. Encuentra un centro de vacunación cerca de ti en mitron.ca.gov.
To San Jose now, where police believe they may have averted a mass shooting at a workplace.
Yeah, police arrested 43-year-old Brian Velasquez, saying that they believe that he was preparing to go on a rampage with a cache of weapons at his home. Police say that Velasquez was fired several months ago and since that time sent several threatening emails to former co-workers, including video of himself loading and shooting guns. Then a months-long investigation started, but the mass shooting at a Buffalo supermarket earlier this month spurred investigators to act.
It gave me a lot of anxiety and stress that I was not moving fast enough, that we weren't doing everything that we could in order to stop this person.
If you're in fear, if you think someone could potentially shoot you based on the way they're behaving or the things that they're saying, please call law enforcement.
Well, Velasquez is now facing stalking and gun charges. He could spend up to 6 years in prison. The DA says that as a convicted felon, he would never be able to possess a firearm in this state again.
A new bill making its way through the state legislature is seeking to protect renters. It centers around the Ellis Act, which was originally passed in 1985 to protect small mom-and-pop landlords who could no longer tend to their rental properties. Lawmakers say right now it's being used by out-of-state investors to skirt local rent control protections and evict tenants. AB 2050 now intends to reform the Ellis Act to close those loopholes. It would require a 5-year holding period before new corporate landlords can invoke the act.
The owner we have now is an LLC that owns other buildings in similar scenarios. The owner never intended to be a landlord when they bought our buildings. They bought exclusively to get rid of us to sell the units. These 12 affordable rental units will not be replaced. There is no law in existence that requires it. My neighbors and I will be out on the street soon at no fault of our own.
Since 2001, nearly 60,000 residents have been evicted in Los Angeles. In San Francisco, nearly 6,000 households have been displaced by the Ellis Act.
Well, a group of state Republican lawmakers continue to push for relief from rising gas prices. Assembly member James Gallagher, the state's Republican leader, led a group of 5 Republican Assembly members in a gathering outside an independent gas station along Folsom Boulevard. The group stressing that while the governor and Democratic leaders have talked about gas price relief, there's so far been no action, and that's why they are pushing for a vote on a bipartisan proposal to suspend the current gas tax.
In fact, we are now on day 77 of the governor promising to provide gas tax relief to
to Californians. It still hasn't happened. They've been fighting themselves. They have 3-4 different plans that they can't get agreement on. We have a very simple one. Relieve people of the gas tax right now. Give people that easy relief that we could do immediately and help people through these really high cost times that we're all experiencing.
And just a reminder, we still have our gas price tracker on the KCRA free app. Just take out your phone there and grab that QR code to get the interactive map, and you can follow daily changes in prices and get a county by county breakdown.
And now we want to turn it over to KCRA 3 Chief Meteorologist Mark Finan. Mark, just a perfect day out there.
If you like the heat, it's a perfect day, and if you're doing this, it's probably also a perfect day. This is from Live Copper 3. We're not too far from Miller Park on the Sacramento River, and just seeing motor vehicles like this, as well as other boats and all sorts of folks just out enjoying the river and trying to stay cool on this hot day. Just a tease of what's ahead for the summer. Right now at Executive Airport, we have 102. But we've seen it change just within the last hour. The wind has turned from the west at 7 miles an hour. I know it's not doing much just yet, but that's the beginning of the Delta breeze that will bring in the cooling that we'll all feel tonight and into tomorrow. In Stockton, we also have 102, wind out of the northwest at 7. It's been cooler than the rest of the valley. In Modesto the last few days, we have 98 degrees. In Fairfield, just 2 hours ago, the temperature here was 104. It's now 96. The wind out of the west at 22. Fairfield, we're going to see the temperature plummet as we head through the next couple of hours. We may be in the 50s by midnight in Fairfield. That's how strong that Delta breeze is. Out of Lake Tahoe, we have 76 degrees with calm winds. Here's the temperature difference between yesterday and today. We're up a few degrees in the valley. But you look in Fairfield, we're now down 5 degrees from this time yesterday. San Francisco's down 10. They have that onshore breeze. It won't be long before the valley starts to feel that cooling as well. And here's another sign of that. There's the marine layer. Just watch it come up the coast. So this is like the freon for the air conditioning. You can just see it fill in on the Golden Gate. We're starting to see the fog go through the Golden Gate and into the Oakland area. We're going to see the fog tomorrow morning into Napa. We may even get it as far inland as Fairfield tomorrow morning. And here's the wind we'll be seeing tonight. The wind's starting to pick up, and we'll not only have that wind tonight to bring in the cool air, but we'll also have it tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning. Look at Fairfield, 23 miles an hour. That's the air conditioner on full, and throughout the day tomorrow, it'll be somewhat breezy, but it'll be that cooler, comfortable breeze that we all like at this time of year, especially after we've had a taste of the heat. There won't be a lot of change in the Sierra tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the 70s, but if you're going to be in Tahoe this weekend, it is going to be noticeably cooler than in the foothills tomorrow. Generally low 80s under mostly sunny skies.